Hey beautiful, I hope you're doing well, staying hydrated, and actually getting some sleep. Today you along with Queen Zani will discuss about Zani kit and abilities in detail. So without wasting any time, let's start the video. But before moving forward, it's an early kit and many changes may take place before her release. So please take everything with a grain of salt. So, Queen Zani is a powerful 5-star Spectro DPS who excels as an on-field bruiser with high skill expression and scaling potential. She uses gauntlet-based Spectro-infused combos with unique mechanics that let her counter, block, and recover from missed attacks. Her true strength lies in her ability to build and consume flame energy and sun embers, transforming her normal skills into slashes during her scorching flame form. She thrives in Spectro-focused teams, especially alongside Phoebe and Spectro Rover, who apply Spectro Frazzle and shred enemy resistance to amplify her damage. Zani's combat style rewards smart timing and aggressive play, and her scaling mechanics make her stronger the longer she remains active. With powerful resonance skills, flame transformations, and strong synergy-based buffs, Queen Zani is a top-tier main DPS who dominates the field through momentum, precision, and pure Spectro power. Let's start with her normal attacks. She performs up to 4 consecutive Spectro-infused attacks. Nothing too crazy yet, just your basic combo. But here's where things get interesting. If you somehow miss a hit, which, let's be real, happens to the most of us, you can still recover and land the 4th attack after dodging, as long as you time it right. Then there's her heavy attack, where she burns stamina to strike the target with Spectro damage. Simple but satisfying. Her mid-air attacks are also same, where she consumes stamina to deal Spectro damage. But here's where she flexes. Even her dodge counterattack is Spectro-infused. So, if you dodge at the right time and follow up with a normal attack, you counter your enemies. Now I know what you're thinking. Okay, so far, she's just another Spectro DPS, right? Well, hold on to your gauntlets, because her resonance skill changes everything. When you press and hold her resonance skill, Queen Zani enters a blocking state. If you short press her normal attack during this, she chains into a quick suppression strike that also slows down the enemy's movement. And if she actually gets attacked while blocking, well, she counters, becomes immune to control, takes reduced damage, and smacks the enemy with Spectro damage while lowering their resonance by 5%. Well, this ability of Queen Zani can help up in many game modes. Then we have Radical Annihilation Plan. When Zani is not in scorching form and her skill meter is full, her resonance skill transforms into Radical Annihilation Plan. Pressing and holding it puts her into ready stance, and when released, she unleashes resonance focus suppression and deals Spectro damage. If she's attacked while in ready stance, she becomes immune to it, and not only immune to it, but also turns it into Resonance Smash counterattack, stopping the enemy and reducing their resonance even further. But wait, there's more. Every time she lands these hits, she applies Spectro Frazzle, restores Flame, and gains Blade, which buffs her light noise effect damage by 20%. Now, let's talk about her Forte Circuit, which is basically her passive superpower. Whenever any teammate applies Spectro Frazzle to an enemy, the game instantly calculates all the layers and converts them into the same number of sun embers. Then, Zani absorbs these embers and turns them into flame, making her even stronger. Also, sun embers work just like Spectro Frazzle, meaning they help trigger set effects. Translation: the more she fights, the stronger she gets. In simple words, Queen Zani will work best in Spectro-based teams with Phoebe, because in her confession state, she applies the Spectro Frazzle debuff to enemies, which can be stacked to increase damage over time, and this will help Queen Zani to generate more numbers of sun embers. And then there's Ignite Light, the skill that lets Zani enter her scorching flame form. And if you don't know what it is, then let me tell you that it's her second form. While in this form, she unlocks 3 devastating slashes: Heavy Slash, Dawn, Heavy Slash, Morning, and Heavy Slash, Nightfall, each one doing Spectro Frazzle and heavy damage. Now, let's discuss how this skill works. Once Zani's flame energy surpasses a certain threshold, her usual resonance skill, Standard Defense Plan, is replaced by Ignite Light. To activate this skill, she enters a ready stance by pressing and holding the resonance skill button. Releasing the button triggers Heavy Slash, Dawn, consuming flame energy. While in this ready stance, Zani becomes resistant to control effects and takes reduced damage if attacked. If she follows up with Heavy Slash Morning, the target is temporarily stopped and its resonance is further weakened. Once the ready stance ends, she immediately unleashes Heavy Slash Nightfall. The more flame energy Zani consumes while using Heavy Slash Nightfall, the stronger its damage becomes. She can channel a large amount of this energy to significantly boost its attack power. Her attack chain transformation. When Zani has accumulated enough flame energy, her normal attacks automatically shift into more powerful versions. Initially, her normal attacks are replaced with Heavy Slash Dawn. After using Heavy Slash Morning, her attacks shift again, and she continues the sequence until she reaches Heavy Slash Nightfall. Additionally, if Zani successfully dodges an attack, she can quickly follow up with a special strike. If she hasn't yet reached Heavy Slash Nightfall, a swift normal attack will allow her to unleash Heavy Slash Morning instead, consuming flame energy in the process. Now, let's talk about her skill points management. Zani builds skill points through combat actions, like landing normal attacks, executing variation skills, and successfully using her defensive resonance abilities. These points determine how often she can perform her most powerful techniques. Her flame light energy also plays a crucial role in her combat effectiveness. Outside of scorching flame form, her energy is capped at a lower level, but once she enters this form, she can store even more power. Using certain abilities or converting Spectrofrazzle into sun embers helps her regenerate flame light, allowing her to maintain her offensive pressure. Then there's her variation skill, Immediate Execution, where she just straight up attacks and deals spectro damage. Simple and effective, her intrinsic skills add even more buffs. Quick Response boosts her spectro damage by 12% for 14 seconds when she casts a variation skill. No Fear of Pain gives the exact same buff because apparently she's just that good. Her Resonance Liberation is where she transforms into her Scorch form, increasing her flame cap from 100 to 150 while immediately gaining 50 flame. Her normal attack multipliers go up, and once her flame drops below 30, she can unleash Final Judgment, a massive spectro attack that also ends her scorching form. Then there's her Sustain skill, Signpost for the Future, which deals a huge amount of spectro damage and clears all sun embers on a target. But here's the kicker. The more sun embers an enemy had, the more bonus damage they take, up to a 10% increase per stack. Oh, and allies who attack that enemy also get a 20% spectro damage buff for 20 seconds. Well, Phoebe and Queen Zani synergy is getting strong. Now, let's talk about her team comps. For Zani, choosing the right teammates is crucial to maximizing her damage output and effectiveness in battle. From the options, Phoebe, Spectro Rover, and Shorekeeper. Each character brings different strengths, but not all of them work optimally with her. A Spectro-focused team with Phoebe and Spectro Rover is the best option. Phoebe excels as an off-field DPS, especially when in her confession state. Phoebe's confession state keeps enemies frazzled and reduces their Spectro resistance, allowing Zani to deal significantly more damage. Since Phoebe remains off-field during confession state, Zani gets uninterrupted on-field time while still benefiting from Phoebe's consistent Spectro application and damage amplification. Meanwhile, Spectro Rover acts as a support, providing Spectro Resistance Shred and healing. The Spectro Resistance Shred directly increases Queen Zani damage, making her even deadlier, while the healing ensures she can stay in battle longer without needing to swap out frequently. Meanwhile, Shorekeeper, on the other hand, is a more defensive option, offering damage mitigation, some buffs, and shields. While this adds survivability, it does not directly boost Zani damage output, making it a less optimal choice unless you need extra safety in challenging fights. The strongest and most efficient team composition would be Phoebe, sub-DPS, plus Spectro Rover, support. Phoebe in confession state applies constant Spectrofrazzle and deals high off-field damage, while Spectro Rover shreds Spectro resistance and heals, ensuring Zani can maximize her burst potential without worrying about survivability. This setup creates a strong synergy where Zani is always fighting in her optimal conditions, making it the best team for her. Now, let's talk about her resonance chains. At S1, she gets a 50% Spectro damage bonus when casting Radical Annihilation Protocol, and her Nightfall attack makes her immune to control effects. This upgrade not only gives her a massive immediate damage spike, but also makes her much safer to play during her high damage windows. Compared to the others, S1 offers the most value per unlock. It directly buffs her most used skill and enhances her survivability without needing extra setup or form changes. While S2 adds consistency with her crit rate, which goes up by 20%, and her Radical Annihilation protocol gets an 80% damage boost, which means more burst damage. From my perspective, her S1 and S2 are best sequences. At S3, while in Blazing Flame form, Final Judgment's multiplier increases by 8% up to 1,200% based on flame consumption. At S4, casting her intro skill boosts her whole team's attack by 20% for 30 seconds. At S5, her Resonance Liberation multiplier increases by 120%. At S6, she gets 40% more damage on Ignite Light, instantly regains 70 flame when it drops below 70, and straight up avoids death once per form duration. Finally, let's talk about her weapon. Her signature weapon gives 48% crit damage, 12% attribute DMG bonus, and buffs heavy attack damage against Spectro-Frazzle enemies by 24%, stacking twice for 8 seconds. Plus, using Resonance Liberation reduces Spectro resistance of nearby enemies by 15% for 15 seconds. And that's everything on Queen Zani. If you watch till the end, you're an absolute legend. Now go to